Welcome in to the Merrifield Sportsbook Show. College football season is over. We will obviously get to that in a minute, but the NFL has 4 teams remaining, and there are 4 of us here today. What a time to be alive. Jay DeCoster, Justin Walsh, Matt Merrifield, myself, Nick Burt. Jay DeCoster, how are you doing on this fine Thursday evening as we record?
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's really cold, and the Bears got eliminated, but I mean, like I said, I think I told you guys this. I kind of knew the magic was going to run out. Like that Caleb Williams throw, nothing short of unbelievable. I don't know how he keeps doing that, but I mean, I think we have it's safe to say the Bears have their franchise quarterback. But they couldn't make the plays in overtime to secure it. They were like 25 yards away. A side note, I need to vent for a minute here, and this is for an event coming up in 2 weeks. So I was at a buddy's place for this game. Matt, friend of the program, Lance Mullen's house.
Oh God!
So we get there, and it's like me, our couple of our buddies, and Lance is like, "Oh yeah, so we're gonna have more people coming over. My roommate's invited like 12 other people." I'm like, "Oh my God!" So next thing you know, the entire living room is just full of people. Half aren't even invested in the game. I'm just sitting there like, and people are getting up, they're grabbing pizza, they're grabbing drinks. I'm sitting over here like I might just leave. So it's basically kind of like a Super Bowl party event. I'm still out on Super Bowl parties. I think it's a joke because I almost want to blow my brains out with the amount of people getting up. I couldn't even see the TV for a few plays. I almost was like, "Hey buddy, get up, get out of the way. I'm watching the freaking game here." Like, I wanted to blow my brains out. So,
I mean, I would have to agree with you, Jay. If it's specifically for a game that you care about, I hate watching games with other people. It's why I don't go to establishments to watch games. I learned that very quickly in my college career, that it sucks for plenty of reasons. But yes, being around other people, especially people that do not care or do not know what they're looking at while you are invested, i.e. for me, March Madness or most Saturdays in the fall until like middle of October when I realized Michigan State football sucks ass. So you are very much welcomed here, Mr. J. And
Was this decision on not being in places during big events before or after the World Cup round of 16 at Luhas at 9 a.m. in the morning?
Well, that one was more of a situation of, you know what, it's Berhalter ball. Do I actually care? Not enough to stop me from saying I went to the bar at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday in the middle of November when I had other responsibilities to take care of. So, yeah. But like watching Mel Tucker and Michigan State go to Washington when you thought the team was still good, bad idea. That was a bad game to be watching in public.
Duke, I was there with you. That was terrible.
There was a reason I left at halftime. The Duke game, Jay, you were also in attendance for that one. My freshman year when we lost Apollo, the Riv was not the place to be.
I don't want to interrupt, but just in general, like I'm just so like I feel like I'm old here. Like I'm 24. Like I should be at the age where I should be doing this stuff, but I'm so done with it. I'm so done of going out and with a bunch of people. I don't. First of all, I don't even know this one guy right next to me was like, "So how you been, man?" It's like, I'm watching a fucking game here. I'll talk to you at halftime. And dude, he was just talking to me about because he knows a few buddies from my high school. It's like, dude, not the time, man. My team is in a divisional round game. So just want to get that off my chest. I'm so out on watching my favorite football team in front of people that I don't know. I'm sick of it.
I would definitely agree with that. I haven't had necessarily the experience of having that experience of going out because I don't really like to do that when my team is playing. But during the Kenneth Walker season at Michigan State, my roommates and I had a wonderful idea to host a watch party in our apartment game. And I have never, ever seen a room get so deflated so fast when we literally blinked and it was 21-0. And it just got so much worse than there. So I 100% agree. Watching games that you're invested in with other people, not the way to go.
the sophomore year March Madness run for Michigan State when they played at noon against USC on St. Patrick's Day. Myself and friend of the program, Allie Cohen, watched in my dorm, all ready to go because A, we were not going to go out to the bar on St. Patrick's Day and try and watch that game with other people. A, it would have been impossible to get in. B, just not a good idea. And my roommates, I kicked my roommates out of the room. I said, you are going in the other room. I don't know I know, Jay, you might know how my girlfriend gets during Michigan State hoops. Nick, I don't know if you've seen you've been around us at home games, but March Madness is a different beast when it comes to Allie and how she reacts and responds to the way Michigan State plays. So that I for the safety, for not only for myself, because I would have thrown a remote at my roommates, but also for the safety of them around Allie, I had to forcibly remove people from my side of the dorm. They could go into our suite mate's side and watch the game and be nonsensical, and then they had like 8 people in there. I was like, that's just not going to work for our dorm room. For everybody, for the best interest of everybody. So, Jay, you are in the right here.
Yeah, it's also my fault because they're Lions fans. So why the hell would I go watch a game with Lions fans? And they're just going to be hate watching Ben Johnson. So it was just something to do, but it was a bad decision because I did not know 15 other people were going to show up. So, but there's my rant. Don't go to a Super Bowl party. Just watch with your family.
But I mean, that was just an incredible way to open the show, Jay DeCoster. Thank you, honestly, for that. You've already created so many great moments for this episode already. And we're just getting started here. Justin Walsh, I know we've heard from you already, but how are you doing this Thursday evening?
Doing all right. Not quite sure how I'm going to follow that wonderful rant by Mr. Jay DeCoster up above, but we're doing all right on this Thursday. Just got back not too long ago from Simulator Golf League, so it is officially Simulator Golf season in case anyone's curious. Golf season, 100% time of the year, always. But we're feeling good, ready to talk some sports here, ready to talk about college hoops and then obviously NFL, all that good stuff. Also, Fernando Mendoza, probably now the GOAT of Indiana football.
We'll get to that, Joel. So I'll circle back to that one. Matt Merrifield, how are you doing on this Thursday evening?
Absolutely splendid, even though there's nothing to watch tonight other than the Red Wings at 9 p.m., I guess. I don't know who's in charge of these college basketball slates, but we need to do a better job of the midweek spreading the shit out. Tuesday was great, and yesterday was not great, and today is bad basketball available to me, and I don't appreciate that very much. Otherwise, I don't know if I have any other complaints other than Igor Chernyshov was sent down, and that's not okay, even though he'll probably be a backup after the Olympic break.
Well,
big weekend for the Birds, by the way.
Huge weekend in OHL hockey. I'm going to get the question out of the way right now, Matt.
Okay.
Tomorrow night, Toronto, Ontario. The Vegas Golden Knights travel to face the Toronto Maple Leafs. The question, after the tribute video that they do, if they do it, does Mitch Marner get booed tomorrow night? And if he does, how bad is it?
I think it'll be a true 50-50. Like, I think because the suits don't care in Toronto. That's the problem. Maple Leaf Garden, it'll be all booze, all outside in the negative 40-degree tundra. If there's anybody outside watching, all booze.
I think they only do that for the playoffs.
Well, tomorrow might be an exception. Bigger question, is Carter Hart playing tomorrow?
I have no idea.
Will he be available to the media?
Probably not, because they're on a back-to-back, and I think they're losing 5-0 right now to Boston.
Well, a lot of storylines to watch in that game. The Death Star heading into Toronto, and I hope they implode. But yeah, I think he gets booed. Honestly, I at least one jersey I think gets thrown on the ice at some point. I wish it would be me, but
well. I should correct that. It's 4-2 in Boston right now with the Bruins leading. I don't know who's that. It's Schmidt at goalie tonight for them. Hart's not even the backup. So that tells me he's probably not playing tomorrow. But let's get to real action here. I'm circling back. We'll talk about the national championship really quick. Indiana, your national champion, first new national champion since Florida won it in the mid-90s. Perfect season, 16-0. First team to go 16-0 since the 1890s Yale team. But we can't forget the Fair State Bulldogs did go 16-0 this year. So it's the first FBS team to do it since the 1890s. Jay Walsh, you said Fernando Mendoza might be the GOAT of Indiana football. I don't think there's a might there.
No, there really isn't. It's hard to say that about a player that was only there for one season, but I mean, you win the Heisman, you go undefeated, win the team's first national championship. Not really an argument for anybody else, especially in a program like Indiana, which historically has been the worst Power 5 football program in the country. I mean, it's pretty unbelievable. I mean, obviously all the superlatives are being thrown around about the job that Cignetti's done in 2 years at the helm, but it really can't be overstated how unbelievable it is that he took this program, which literally was the worst football program in the country, and within 2 years made them an undefeated national champion with a Heisman winning quarterback. I mean, it really is just, there's not really another word to describe it other than just unbelievable. It really is. And Mendoza 100% is the GOAT of Indiana football, and will more than likely be the number 1 overall draft pick this year in the NFL.
Matt, I'm kind of stunned right now. I put on the Penguins Oilers game, and within 4 minutes, the Penguins are up 3-0 already. So, yeah. Kurt Cignetti, all he does is win. I don't know if there's much else
Google
to say.
him.
Google him. Just Google him. Matt, your kind of final thoughts here on Indiana winning the national title.
I mean, there isn't much else to say, just other than just how perfect of a season it was from Indiana, them being the machine that is. I guess the question now is, what does next year look like? Because I will be honest, I was a doubter of Indiana football this year. I thought they were an 8-4 football team. I just didn't know if they'd be able to replicate it. And obviously, not only did they replicate it, but they were somehow better. Once again, they need to go find a new quarterback. Do we have any lead? Oh, yeah, we do. It's Josh Hoover.
Josh Hoover,
Yep.
yeah.
Is Furry Boy the one to lead them to a second straight Big Ten title? I mean,
Nick Marsh.
Maybe it's I'm not the biggest Coach Patterson fan, so maybe I give Hoover the benefit of the doubt that he'll be better in Bloomington because he's got all the arm talent. He's, in my opinion, probably the best. He's got the most skill of the 3 quarterbacks that Cignetti has had in his time in Indiana. The question is just whether he can put it all together and not turn the football over, which is a big piece, and just run the offense. Having Nick Marsh, a big plus. So they'll probably be back. They'll probably win 10, 11 games again next year and be right back in the mix because it's Kurt Cignetti and all he does is win. But hats off to Indiana. And I truly love and appreciate like all the fans of Indiana online being like, what do we do? Like, do we have like what do we do now? Like how am I supposed to celebrate? Am I supposed to buy all this merch, even though it hasn't been that long since you won a basketball title? Like, this isn't completely uncharted territory. It's been what, 20 years, 25 years?
No, it's been like 30.
I thought they won in
since
02.
the 80s, haven't
Did they lose in 02 to Maryland?
Yes, Maryland.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I take that. Well,
It's been almost 40 years.
Okay. Are we going back to the Isaiah Thomas, or did they win after Isaiah Thomas was there?
I think
Because
they
Isaiah
won in
Thomas
like
was,
86.
77?
I think 86 is their last one.
Okay. So, anyways, point being, yeah, I do love that where they don't know what to do with themselves. They're not quite, nobody kind of understands just how crazy that this is. And, all props to them. And, Michigan State will be the next Big Ten champion to win a national championship. Pat Fitzgerald's coming, baby.
Yeah. Matt, can we put something to bed really quick here? Because I know you have a somewhat opinion on this. This is not the greatest upset story in sports history.
No, it is not. Not even close.
Leicester
Nope.
City, right?
Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
There was another one I said that was an even bigger up, like not bigger than Leicester City, of course, but like this hasn't. They were 15th in the country when they were ranked to start the year. Like
They
if it
made the
was
playoffs last year.
They made they were a playoff team last year. This isn't some.
I think people are saying that. I mean, just because Indiana's losing his program in FBS history, I think that's what they're saying. Like, I'm not saying like. I think they're just saying like Indiana's just the best turnaround story, not just from season to season like Leicester, who had like they were like plus 10,000 or whatever it was.
Well, and in response to that, Jay, I think you could make an argument that UCF under Scott Frost going from 0-12 to undefeated in 2 seasons. I think you can very easily make an argument that that's just as good, if not better.
Well, for
True.
Leicester City, like, and Nick, you can correct me in terms of soccer. Leicester is they're the only the Big Five, Big Six that has won a Premier League title.
There's one other one, but it was in the mid-90s. But yes.
Like that was a big deal. Like nobody, quite literally nobody wins the Premier League besides the Big Six. And then the other one I just went back and looked at our text, Nick, is the 2019 Blues. They were in last place at the midway point of the season. They call up a career-long minor league goaltender who had never gotten a shot at the NHL. And next thing you know, they win the Stanley Cup. And the goalie and Jordan Binnington, future gold medal winning goaltender.
That's right, Matt.
It was unconscious. Just like quite literally, you did not know what you were watching. At multiple points, you thought the Blues were dead, including in a series against my Sharks. And they just found a way. And Jordan Binnington, when he needed to, turned unconscious. Like that one is the closest you get to Leicester. And even then, still in the AHL, we've seen before 8 seeds have won a Stanley Cup, like when the Kings did it 15 years ago. So Indiana doesn't even come close. Not even the closest one in the last 5 years, 6 years. So,
and also the 2019 Nationals, who were like 19-33 or something like that,
story,
and they go on to win it all. It's like, yeah, I mean, it's just recency bias. I mean, in terms of being the most losingest program in FBS history to this, I mean, it's awesome, but no, I mean, there's still many other programs out there. I mean, that's all I'll really say. I mean, you guys all hit the nail on the head, but I mean, yeah, Kurt Signetti, he should just. People were saying, yeah, he should go to the NFL. No, he should just stay right where they're at, because he's just going to continue to do what he does in the portal. They have the money with Mark Cuban. They're going to run it back next year with, they're going to get Hoover. They're going to get Marsh. They got a really good edge rusher from Kansas State. I'm kind of blanking on what his name is, but he's very, very good. But, yeah, I mean, it just means more in the Big Ten. So that's all I got.
You're not wrong there, Jay. It does just mean more in the Big Ten. I mean, 3 straight national championships for the Big Ten. The first one doesn't really count, given, cheating allegations. But, I mean...
First Big Ten three-peat since the early 40s, by the way.
Yes.
40 to 42.
Yeah. So, huge for the Big Ten. Just in case you guys were wondering, I just looked at Indiana's non-conference schedule for next year. North Texas, Howard, and Western Kentucky.
So they stepped it up from last year.
They did. Yeah. And then conference-wise, truly the only real contender they play is Ohio State. They 100% can run this back next year. I did find it interesting, though. ESPN came out with their viewership numbers today. It was like 30.6 million. The most watched national championship game since the Ohio State-Oregon national championship. And it was the most viewed non-NFL game of anything since the 2016 Game 7 of the World Series, where nothing happened and the world just ended. I don't know what happened.
What happened? I only remember the Roger Davis home run.
Yeah,
and I almost I almost
Didn't
ran
it
out of my
just end
house
there?
in anger.
I thought
Huh?
it just ended there, Jay. I don't know. Let's move into some college hoops here. We are almost through January, which means we are almost a month away from March, the most important month of the year. Matt, how are you vibe-wise? How are you feeling about college basketball? I know you complained about the scheduling. Just vibe-wise, how are you feeling about this season and how it's going?
I'm very terrified of how well I am picking college basketball games this year. Nick, I know I've sent you my picks like the last week and a half, and you can confirm of how well it has gone, which is very surprising to me because last year I had partially because I was obviously covering Michigan State. I had never been more locked in, just watching games every single night, and I still do. But like I didn't pay attention at all in non-conference play. I've since the turn of the calendar, I decided this year we're not even going to look at college basketball other than the state games truly until we get to the turn. And I mean, it's been fun. The thing I'm concerned about, Nick, which I brought up with you earlier. So Jay and Jay Walsh, Michigan State currently has an offensive rating on Ken Pom of 119.8, which is like 52nd in the country. That would be 3 years ago. 119.8 would be top 5. I just that baffles my mind and how teams are just becoming that more efficient. Also, I need to know what numbers Ken Pom uses because respectfully, this offense looks like a top, like I would say probably closer to 40. Like I don't know if 50 is an accurate representation of how good this offense can be, but like this is nowhere near a top 5 offense from 5 years. I take Alabama or literally any top 10 offense, top 20 offense from 3 years ago over what Michigan State shows on a given night most of the time. So that just stands out to me of what the hell is Ken Pom doing. And I guess just credit to how efficient teams are playing. But overall, I'm pretty pleased with what I've seen from college basketball so far. Most of the conferences are good. I'm glad that the ACC is competitive again. It's washable. The SEC is kind of stinks though.
Matt, you brought up that offensive efficiency number. I just wanted to mention, I noticed after we talked about it, ranked 27th right now in offensive efficiency is a 9-10 Providence team. So, yeah, fun times in the Big East. Jay, just kind of vibe check with you too. How are you feeling with this college basketball season? I know Demon Madness is now taking over Chicago after the Bears got eliminated from the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in Matt's boat. Like, I didn't really I watched the Feast Week games. Like, I mean, the Thanksgiving games are always fun to watch. Didn't really pay attention in December, I'm gonna be honest. But as the year took a turn, and we take a turn to 2026, that's where I start locking in, kind of when the NFL wraps up. And yeah, I mean, I guess for Michigan State wise, their defense is number one in Ken Pom. I mean, they crash the glass offensively. They're not a great shooting team, obviously, but they know how to attack the boards. They're the best offensive rebound team in the country, which says a lot. And that's just a prime Izzo team if you want to go deep in March. Yeah, I mean, other things, the Big East, absolutely terrible. Marquette needs to fire Shaka. And UConn runs that league per usual. And yeah, the SEC is down big time this year. I guess a couple games for this weekend I'm really looking forward to is Illinois-Purdue at Mackey. Colin Boswell being out kind of hurts Illinois, but interested to see how Purdue handles the UCLA loss. And then also Houston, Texas Tech is going to be a war. I cannot wait to watch that. So the Saturday slate is pretty good. Tennessee, Alabama should be all right. I know Tennessee's down this year, but some pretty solid games on the Saturday slate. And then North Carolina, Virginia. Shout out Virginia for actually recovering from the Tony Bennett days and actually having a decent offense. So,
Jay Walsh, obviously we are 2 weeks away from February. We are right in the middle of conference championship, or not conference, conference play. We're getting close to conference championships eventually, but conference play. Kind of how are you feeling right now here?
I'm feeling like in terms of MSU, I feel like they're in a pretty good spot. Obviously, I mean, there's always positives and negatives that you can nitpick, but I feel like the team is playing very well right now. Obviously, I mean, the games against Michigan are going to be absolute wars. I feel like MSU has a decent chance of matching up with them. The main takeaway that I have about college basketball right now, and it's something that, in terms of the people who are really invested and knowledgeable about the sport, I don't feel like what I'm about to say is true. But in terms of just overall kind of national coverage, I can't remember the last time a currently consensus number one overall team was flying under the radar as much as Arizona is. I mean, I feel like you always hear about your Michigan, your Duke. Obviously, we're in Big Ten circles, so we hear about Purdue, Nebraska. Arizona just keeps on winning games. They are a really, really good team. They're second in the country in rebound margin. They just continue to win. They're really well balanced. They have a very deep team. I think this team is flying under the radar nationally. Like I said, the people who are paying close attention to college basketball, they know how good this team is. But that's something that I wanted to say is I know, obviously, Michigan got off to the insane start that they did, and Duke is Duke. So you're always going to have those teams kind of taking away the spotlight. But I think Arizona is the team that people really need to kind of keep an eye on in terms of like, this is a national championship level team.
2 words, Tommy Lloyd. Actually, hold on. 4 words, Tommy Lloyd in March. There you go. Specifically. I mean, you're not wrong. Arizona is dominant, and they have been dominant even against the good teams that they have beaten.
They have the best win of the season right now.
They just, the wheels, like there have been multiple teams. The Benedict Mathurin team a couple years ago had no right losing in the Sweet 16. That team, they almost lost in the round of 32 to TCU. Like, that team was so good. And if that wasn't the year, like, I don't know when the year is truly for Tommy Lloyd, unfortunately. But you're not wrong. Like, right now on paper, I think the best team, I think a team that goes along those similar lines is Houston. Like, Houston's a really good basketball team, and their only loss was by 3 to Tennessee. I think it's Kelvin Sampson, and they were right there last year, as we talked about, I think last week. And they just continue to be they're that good, and they continue to dominate. But I guess that kind of leads me to the other point I wanted to make, Nick. I think you'll agree. Last year, everybody complained because we had the 4-1 seed Final Four. All the Elite Eight games were 1 versus 2, and then there was the 1 versus 3 matchup. I think we're headed for the same thing this year. Like, I think we could very well see all top 16 seeds 1 through 4 make the Sweet 16. Like, we're just like, there's going to be very few upsets in the first round because the bubble is extremely weak. There's some bad teams that are going to make the tournament, and you look at it like Michigan State right now. I know the AP polls and everything. Michigan State's number 10. Florida, when they have it figured out, is 16th. They're a pretty damn good basketball team. I think it goes as high as 20, where I start to be like, yeah, those are good basketball teams, and it drops off. But like Illinois, Texas Tech, BYU, Virginia, Vanderbilt, those are all really good teams, even though they're outside the top 10. Like, I truly don't know where that line is of it's just you're going to have to pray. Like, Michigan State, be in Nebraska's region, be the number 3 seed in the Nebraska Vanderbilt region, please and thank you. Don't give us Houston and Duke. That would be like that's the other thing. I think there's going to be one region where you're going to look at it, but we're going to get to that second weekend of the tournament, and you're going to be really excited because there's going to be some damn good basketball. You're going to have, and it's going to include guys like AJ DeBansa and Darren Peterson, like the next level guys too that everybody wants to watch. Like the casual fans want to see who's going to be in the NBA. We have that top end talent that's going to translate to the league. So I think we're in for a really fun March, but be warned, there won't be many upsets.
Yeah, and I don't remember if it was last week or the week before, Matt, that I sent you, I think, Fox Sports' bracketology. But if the higher seeds played out, In the East region, it would have been UConn as a 1, Duke as a 2, MSU as a 3, and I think Kansas as a 4.
Please, no, thank you.
That's just, I'm sorry, I'm out on that.
You know,
They're gonna need the
inevitably we're
national
going to be
guard.
paired with Duke because we're always paired with Duke.
We could have been
That's
last year.
gonna
We weren't. Instead, we got Bruce Pearl,
You're right, and they gave
And
us
I
a year
agree.
off, so it's for sure going to happen this year.
who had his arm surgically removed and reattached to his body in the middle of the Elite Eight game. Sorry.
Oh, fun times. Fun
Which,
times.
by the way,
those
Matt,
were.
you brought up AJ DeBonsa and Darren Peterson. Very much looking forward to that BYU Kansas game next Saturday. Really hoping Peterson is dealing with an ankle sprain right now, so I hope that he can get himself ready to play in that game. But watching those two go at it is going to be very, very fun.
He's the next Kobe Bryant. He might be. He's so good. He's so fun to watch.
It's following along on Ant Wright's Twitter when he goes over one of Kansas's games, and it's like Darren Peterson only played 23 minutes, but he scored 26 points on like 10 of 13 shooting. Like it's unbelievable. And then I think if I had the number 1 overall pick, I would very much consider taking AJ DeBonsa. I really, really like him as a prospect.
And what I'm seeing right now, based on the ESPN's mock draft I just pulled up, there's a chance the top 5 picks in next year's draft are all in the Sweet 16. The only one that's a question mark is I guess they're all question marks, would be Caleb Wilson at UNC. Like, will UNC make it to the second weekend? I mean, Caleb Wilson is good enough from what I saw on Thanksgiving against Michigan State. He's a really fun player, but Hubert Davis kind of sucks at his job. So, but
And Nate Emmett, who's on Tennessee, who Tennessee's just having an off year, they'll be like a 7 or 6 seed in the tournament.
Yeah, this draft has him at 7. Michael Brown, the kid from Louisville, is at 6, who could also be right there but once they can, Louisville might make the Sweet 16. But once again, that's good for the sport too. That the freshman class is so good that we're going to have a ton of young talent that people are going to want to care about playing.
I don't see any G League, or I see one from New Zealand.
That's not the point.
I was just going to say, you want to know what's not good for the sport? Alabama signing G League players.
Yeah.
And getting temporary restraining orders from judges who are listed as Alabama sports donors.
I will say Mark Pope was right when he said the NCAA at the end of the day gets to pick and choose which games actually count. That's the one thing. Like, if these schools want to tell the NCAA to go F themselves, they can pick and choose. The committee can which games matter.
The NCAA doesn't have the balls to do that. That's the problem.
Well, we don't know because we're inside the room. They don't do a TV show every Tuesday night for a month and a half straight just to change the rules whenever they fucking feel like it. So, and then have to answer to nobody other than Nike, and then proceeds to not have a Nike school play in the national title game. I don't know who I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about nobody. What else is woke nonsense is the fact that the ESPN article has a 24-year-old as a lottery pick. Would you like to guess who that lottery pick is? And first off, if he goes to this team, have fun in Siberia. It's the actual to the to the Blazers.
I see one on Tankathon that he's going to the Heat. So, and I mean, if he goes to the Heat, then he'll be good.
Yeah, him and Jaime
It's that
Jaquez.
Heat culture.
Enjoy playing in the play-in, buddy. They're going to name that damn thing the Spolster Cup. I swear to God.
It's the Heat culture, man.
That,
So
them
the
and the
XL
Bulls.
Landenborg is the next.
And the second place trophy
Chris Bosh.
and the second
The
place
Heat-
trophy in the play-in will be Jay. Who's your head coach right now? Is it still
Billy
Billy
Donovan.
Yeah, the Billy
Yes.
Donovan runner-up trophy.
I cannot wait for Bulls Heat in the play-in. I'm so ready.
Every fucking year.
Do we think the Hawks have, now that they've traded Trae Young, do we think they've made it out of the purgatory of being in the play-in every year?
Yeah, now they just think.
Well, they have the Hawks have the Pelicans pick, and they're going to get Darren Peterson.
Yeah, by the way, how about the Pelicans being 10-36 right now without their first round pick?
They had to trade it for Dairy Queen.
Yeah, they had to trade a completely
Nice.
unprotected first round pick to move
Good-
up
good
3
stuff,
spots
Northerners.
to take Derek Queen.
Hey, at least you have Tyler Shuck. And you too.
Maryland!
All right, we're not talking NBA. I'm done with that.
Maryland, Derek Queen at the buzzer. God, that call from the round of 32 rings in my ears. I walked back into my hotel room after Michigan State had just won in Cleveland, and I have the TV on, and that's all I hear is Maryland. Fucking stupid. Anyways, Jay Walsh, Adaimara, 29th overall pick to the Pistons. Thoughts?
The only thing that I will say is if the Pistons have any dreams of winning an NBA championship, they need to have a Wemby like matchup on the roster. So having a guy who's 7'2" and has that length, I trust me, I don't want them to draft Mara. I really don't. But that's the only positive that I can take away from that is that they'll have somebody with that length.
How many centers do you know play like the Harlem Globetrotters and try and do passes behind their back without looking?
I don't want them
I
to
can't stand
draft.
the way Michigan plays. I'm sorry. I can't wait for 2 weeks from now. Wait, no,
It's
it's
a week
next
from now. Next
Yeah, it's
Friday.
next week.
Yeah.
I mean, next
Which,
Friday.
by the way, when
please.
does Michigan play Duke again?
Like mid-February.
February 20th.
At MSG
Oh, God.
It's in
that.
DC.
or
Oh.
Yeah, even MSG. It's the Capital One Arena.
why is that in DC?
The old
Like,
Verizon Center. Bring back the
Yeah.
Verizon Center. Home of the Hoyas.
How about don't get me started on the Hoyas and how bad this is. This is an embarrassment for the league, an embarrassment for the Big East. Get Patrick Ewing back because at least that was somewhat entertainable. Ed Cooley's just blessed to be there. Don't you know that food prices are high and we shouldn't be caring about basketball right now when he's 1-9 in the league? We're just blessed to be
1-7.
1-7, 1-9, same thing. NFL Conference Championship weekend. Bo Nix is dead. He died an hour after I put a future on him.
I saw a tweet. Georgetown's 7 straight conference losses. Blessed. He's blessed, man.
Nick's having a really good time right now.
The Patriots are 4.5-point favorites.
Wait, it's
Matt,
dropped.
I don't know.
It was 6. It opened at 6 or 5.5. So the fact that it's gone down tells me that my intuition is right. Jarrett Stidham's going to play like a 5-star quarterback.
Yeah.
I need to say something here. I'm going to offer a tentative apology to Bo Nix. Tentative, because of the way he played in that game. I hand up, he played very well. I will give Bo Nix credit. However, if Jarrett Stidham beats the Patriots and leads the Broncos to a Super Bowl, my narrative has never been stronger. My narrative has never been stronger than if Jarrett Stidham gets these guys to a Super Bowl.
No, that is woke nonsense.
January's over.
January barely got off the ground.
If Jarrett Stidham gets this Broncos team past the Patriots to a Super Bowl, and God forbid if he wins a Super Bowl, I never want to hear Bo Nix ever again in a conversation of top quarterbacks ever.
We're not even talking like top quarterbacks. We're talking top 16.
Yes, I'd never want to hear that ever again. My whole point about Bo Nix is that if you put most other quarterbacks with this Denver Broncos roster, they're Super Bowl contending favorites.
That's disingenuous.
And if you put Jarrett Stidham behind center, if you put him under center and they beat this Patriots team and get to the Super Bowl, my narrative is
that's not fair.
My narrative will never have been stronger.
There's 2 ways it can go. He could throw like 4 passes on Sunday and not do anything and win. But we clearly know that wouldn't have happened if Bo Nix played. They would throw the ball at some rate. Or Jarrett Stidham lights him up, and then you have to acknowledge the fact that Bo Nix also would have lit up the New England defense.
I don't have to acknowledge that.
Why would I have to acknowledge that? Anyways, Jarrett Stidham is going to play like the quarterback that he was ranked ahead of in his recruiting class, which includes Kyler Murray, Jawan Jennings, the wide receiver, Jacoby Myers was a quarterback in that class. Sam Darnold, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Daniel Jones. What a recruiting class.
Indianapolis Colts legend Daniel Jones.
Sure. But I'm telling you, I
Matt,
just
care to comment on the FBI investigation into your former owner? Jay, anything on the AFC Championship game?
give me the Broncos.
I'm taking the Broncos.
Oh, God damn it.
Okay. They're going to rely on their defense. They're going to establish a run. Sean Payton's got a plan. Jared Stidzy is going to lead them to the Super Bowl. I mean, they're going to rely on their defense. They got a really good defense. So, I mean, I trust them in that. I'm taking the Broncos. So Broncos country, let's ride. I'm taking the Broncos. They're going to establish the run, and Stidham's going to play well enough to get them there. So, I mean, the Broncos.
Jay Walsh, when the Broncos win this game, do they call Peyton Manning out of retirement for one last game, like a Phillip Rivers?
If they win this game, I think it proves that just about anybody under center on the Denver Broncos can make them a winning football team. So it wouldn't surprise me. In terms of the game itself, I do think that this is going to be close. So I'm going to pick the Broncos to cover here. I don't know if I can take them to win. Just simply because of Jarrett Stidham. I do think the Broncos roster is very good. But this Patriots team is also very good. Obviously, Drake May, one of the MVP candidates this year. We'll see how he does against a defense like the Broncos. But I think the Patriots defense is good enough that they're going to be able to keep Jarrett Stidham-led Denver offense in check enough to be able to win this game. So I'm going to go with the Broncos to cover the 4.5, but I think the Patriots still win. In terms of the over-under, I definitely think this is an under-type game. I think under 42.5 is a safe way to go. Both of these defenses are very good, so I'm going Broncos plus 4.5 and then under the 42.5.
Rams, Seahawks 2.5-point favorites. Jay, obviously you saw the Rams last week, so
give me Seattle. I think Seattle's just way too dominant. They're going to rely on the running game. Sam Darnold's has been playing really solid football. Their defense is really good. I mean, the Rams look very vulnerable. Like, even against the Bears, they found a way to win. Like, they're just something's not right about them. Stafford's been really, really good, but I think Seattle's defense is going to overwhelm them. I know they won off the, that fluke 2-point conversion play, but I like Seattle in the spot. I just their defense is just really good, and I like how Mike McDonald is. What he's done with that defense this year, I think that's why he should get Coach of the Year. What he's done with the defense. And then give me another K9 legacy game with Charbonnet out. So give me Seattle.
Jay Walsh, your thoughts here?
I can't agree with Jay. I still don't trust Sam Darnold. I know what they did to the 49ers last week was just dirty, but the way I look at it is the Seahawks set the tone in that game early, not on the offensive side of the ball. Obviously, we saw the kickoff return touchdown, and then they got the quick field goal, got up 10-0. It was very clear that the Niners were not going to be a force in that game, and I think that helped Sam Darnold ease into it, and from that point, he started playing better. I don't think that's going to be the case against this Rams team. The Rams are very feisty. They have a good D-line, so I think they're going to be able to hold Kenneth Walker in check as much as possible and basically just make Sam Darnold beat them through the air, and I don't think he's going to be able to do it. So I'm going to go with the Rams here with the points, and I'm even going to take a money line. I think the Rams are going to win this game. In terms of over-under 46.5, I could really see it going either way. I took the under for the other game, so I'll go with the over here. Even though, again, I think both of these defenses are very talented. But yeah, give me the Rams.
Matt, Rams, Seahawks. Who's meeting the Bo Nix-less Broncos in the Super Bowl?
First off, I am rooting for whichever team wins the AFC to destroy the Death Star that is the NFC West. Doesn't matter how the results go this week. I'm rooting for whichever team wins the AFC in the Super Bowl. But in terms of who's going to make it to the Super Bowl for the NFC, I'm going with the Seahawks simply because they are going to win in spite of Sam Darnold. He threw 4 interceptions in the game they won against the Rams. Or excuse me, no, that was the game they lost, but they only lost by 2, despite him throwing 4 interceptions. Meanwhile, the second game, he threw 2 interceptions, was not very effective, and they still, obviously, it was another tight game. Like, I don't necessarily know the way they play, how good that defense is, and when Kenneth Walker is running the football well, which he did in the game they won in overtime. He ran for 100 yards that game and only 11 attempts. Like, if they can run the football, the Rams don't have much of a shot, in my opinion. The Seahawks have been so well coached and just since pretty much Thanksgiving. They haven't lost since Thanksgiving, and they've had, 2 close games against the Titans of all teams. Well, the Colts gave them hell. I will give the Colts credit with Phillip Rivers, so never mind. Bad teams seem to give them hell, and then the one game against the Rams. So, give me the Seahawks and Sam Darnold, Jared Stidham for the Super Bowl. Just as we all predicted. Just as we all would have thought in the 2015 quarterback recruiting class.
What a goddamn matchup. If you had said 3 years ago that the Super Bowl matchup would be Sam Darnold versus Jarrett Stidham.
What do we think the ratings are going to be for that game?
Hey,
I mean, everyone watches the Super Bowl.
Between Green Day, Bad Bunny, Jarrett Stidham, and Sam Darnold, we are in for an all-time Super Bowl.
don't forget, Sam Darnold is still dealing with an injury. It could be Drew Lock.
Oh my God.
Drew Lock versus Jarrett Stidham in the Super Bowl would cure America. Every problem would be fixed.
Didn't the Broncos draft Drew Lock in the first round or something?
Yes.
Revenge game.
God.
Super Bowl revenge game for Drew Lock.
What's Paxton Lynch up to these days?
What about Brock Osweiler? What's he doing? Yeah, like you guys said, get Peyton Manning out of retirement because he won the Super Bowl with them, the Super Bowl 50 at Levi's. History repeats itself.
10 years ago.
Yes, 10 years ago.
Or will it be like the last?
What's Trevor Siemian doing?
Or will it be like the last Seahawks Broncos Super Bowl?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
That Peyton Manning was also a part of, although I'm sure he wants to forget that he was.
Yeah, but Peyton could throw a football that year. I don't know what happened that offseason, but all the arm strength in his body.
It went straight to his forehead.
Or straight into the drugs that the doctor was selling, Mr. Irsay. So,
Dude.
There's his comment.
there you go.
Wow.
That's my official comment.
Thank you, Matt, for that official comment.
For immediate release.
Do we want to take a guess where Paxton Lynch is playing football right now?
The UFL.
In the CFL.
No, it's gotta be like a European football league or something like that.
It is. I can tell you, he is in America.
Oh, damn it!
He was a Saskatchewan Rough Rider.
He was at one point, yes.
Where is he at, Nick?
He is in the National Arena League, playing for the Colorado Spartans.
Hell yeah!
So
I miss when John Elway was obsessed with taking tall white guys at quarterback. I just miss that era of football. I really do. Bring it back. None of these quarterbacks know how to run an offense anymore. We need.
why do you want to bring it back? That's replacing Bo Nix.
Well, not for the Broncos specifically, just in general. Football needs more of that. We need to get back to. Nope, he's
whatever
not.
Whatever happened to that Nevada quarterback that was like 6'10"?
Yes, exactly. That guy's got arm talent. You could teach him the rest, guys. I don't need this hokey pokey Call of Duty nonsense Kyler Murray brings to the table. He's too short. I want a big,
Double
strong
SB
white
weekend.
guy under center. Get under center, no more shotgun.
You don't want Caleb Williams with his Macos?
Bring back. Have you noticed that since we've gotten rid of the Gruden QB camp, that quarterbacks might have gotten better in the NFL? Is there a correlation behind that? We used to have guys give their hard count to John Gruden, and that's how he would base his draft analysis.
Shout
Connor
out
Cook,
Jackson Dart.
prime example. Connor Cook should have been a star in the NFL.
And then
he
his
went to
chance
Raiders.
until Jadeveon Clowney took his lunch.
And you know what?
Uh,
Bold
unfortunately,
prediction.
Go ahead.
Connor Cook will be a better all-time Raider than Fernando Mendoza.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Mendoza-
Connor Cook's first game was a playoff game against the number one defense in the league. That's not a great way to start your career. But
First player in NFL history to make their first career start as a quarterback in the playoffs.
filling
Mendoza.
in for a potential MVP candidate in Derek Carr that season.
Fernando Mendoza just gives off Kirk Cousins vibes.
That was
just a
that
lot
was
of
my
it.
comp. Somebody asked me the other day what I think of Fernando Mendoza will be in the NFL, and I said I think his ceiling is Kirk Cousins, which is not a bad thing, but obviously not what you're looking for out of the number one overall pick. But I very much agree with that, Jay. I think that is
His ceiling is
comp.
Kirk Cousins. His floor is Tim Tebow. It's pretty much what
Hey.
it is.
Timmy T won that playoff game.
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
OT winner.
Hey, he's one of two Broncos quarterbacks that they drafted to win a playoff game. The other one, Bo Nix.
Tim Tebow. When I watched Tim Tebow throw a football, I wanted to stop watching the video. His motion is so bad.
I talked to somebody about this the other day, actually. The comp that I made is Tim Tebow looks like a right-handed guy who's trying to throw a football left-handed.
Pretty much.
Like, it's just a disgusting. Oh my god. Buddy won a
Wow.
playoff game.
Did anybody see the video of Keon Coleman signing his contract?
Good Lord.
No, but I saw the video of the Bills owner basically saying that they didn't want to draft Keon Coleman.
Terry Pagula is an idiot.
You know what Josh Allen really wanted to hear after the game? He really wanted to hear his owner tell him, "Hey, it wasn't an interception, buddy." Thanks, Terry. But anyways, Keon, when he signed, I believe this was his NHL or his first NFL contract, his rookie contract. The video on Twitter, he asked, I believe, the GM of the Bills, "So do
It
I
wasn't
sign
the
it?
GM.
Or
It was somebody
do I
else.
sign it? Or do I sign it, or do I just sign it? Like, do I do it like it's a autograph, or do I put my signature?"
Yeah, he's
As somebody who went to multiple press conferences with Keon Coleman when he was at Michigan State, that 100% tracks. I believe that 100%.
And the GM's like, "Sign it however you sign anything important." And Keon just did not pick up the clue phone.
Yeah, I love cookies.
There's a reason why LSU ranks 50 out of 50th in childhood education. Reading literacy, not great.
hey, shout out, he scored a basket against Michigan. So
You're supposed to
We
be
can ask for.
one. And you're playing like
Okay.
a bum.
I feel like we got to wrap it up here before we get even more off the rails because we have veered off the track. With
wait, Nick, thoughts on Hawaii being projected in the CFP next year?
Dear Lord, what was that? I saw that today. I'm like, what is this? And I think the whole projection is based on them playing Stanford and Arizona State next year.
Hey, at least Eric Morris is going to take a team that was worse this year than his current team that he just left, and will take now in a tougher conference, and he's going to take them to the playoff, guys. That's the 11 seed. Go Pokes. In a conference that just isn't very good.
I mean, yeah, Meston Maker's really good, but
Yeah, but like you to say Oklahoma State's going to make the
I know.
playoff is blasphemy.
that's the popular CFP pick for everyone.
Also-
not going to buy it.
We don't even have a format for next year yet.
That's
How-
also true.
How are we doing projections right now? Well, we don't know if it's going to be 12 teams, 16 teams, 24 teams.
Shrink it.
We're
back
going to
four.
have 2 playoffs, 1 16 team, and then 1 24 team.
Thank God. That's what we need. More playoffs. I can't wait.
playoffs.
Michigan State finally making the playoffs for the first time since 2015. Can't wait.
As a
That'd be
MSU making the
amazing.
playoffs as a 44 seed is going to be epic.
I mean, we will live to tell the tale of the 44 seed Michigan State Spartans going all the way to the Sweet 16. Okay. We're wrapping it up here. Thank you so much for watching. I don't know if we'll be back next week. We probably should be back next week because Michigan is playing Michigan State in basketball, but it's Pro Bowl week, and the Pro Bowl isn't even on Sunday. It's like on Tuesday or something like that. I don't know. We'll see.
God
you
knows
soon.
we can't miss watching the Pro Bowl.
I love flag football. Just can't get enough of it. Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Merrifield Sportsbook Show. We will see you again soon for another episode of this just absolutely phenomenal show.